Hi, it's Serena from highlyrecommendedbooks.com, and I'm here today to tell you why I highly recommend J.D. Robb's Faithless in Death. And not only can I show you the book here, but I got to show you something else really cool. As you can see, it says here, exclusive in-death poster inside. So what you do is you open up the book jacket and take the book out. Let me show you how that works. And check how cool is this. There's a whole poster with pictures of book covers in it. And I just think that leads us to such a really cool, fun addition to just reading a book. And I really liked it. I thought that was creative. But that's not the reason why I'm highly recommending this book. I'm highly recommending it because I really enjoyed it. Now, I don't know how many of these books J.D. Robb has written, but I've been reading them for 25 years. I could go on the internet and count how many there are, but she puts out at least one, if not two or even three a year. She's really a prolific writer, because not only is she writing these Eve Dallas stories under the name of J.D. Robb, she writes romance novels, romance kind of mystery novels under her real name, Nora Roberts. Now, getting back to this In-Death series, and I call it the In-Death series because every single book is entitled something in death. This one, Faithless in Death. So all of these books have the main character is Eve Dallas. She's a police captain in the New York City Police Department. But it's not set today. It's set about 60 years in the future from today. And what makes it really fun for me is that you get to, it's kind of like Star Trek and Star Wars, and they have technology that we don't have. And, with Star Trek, there was technology there that actually became real technology. Well, in the In-Death series, the technology has solved a whole lot of the problems that we all face, one of which is parallel parking. Now, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. We have virtually no parallel parking because it's such a big city and there's plenty of parking garages and they're not expensive. And nonetheless, parallel parking is something we all have to learn how to do, at least just to pass the driver's test. Well, in the In-Death series, you don't have to parallel park because cars can fly and you can hover above a parking place and then drop down straight into the parking place, which I think is really cool. They also have replicators. Now, if you ever watched Star Trek Voyager and those stories, they have replicators too. So, and they make food for when you don't have it. So imagine if you could just push a button and get your favorite meal created for you instantly. That's so cool. So anyway, I love the In-Death series. Eve Dallas has this backstory of how she was abused as a child and viciously abused, and how she escaped that abuse and matured and grew up and met up with Rourke, who becomes her husband, and he is like the uber wealthy king of the world, pretty much. But he is a very willing participant in all of her murder mystery investigations, and brings to bear all of his resources, primarily computer hacking, and the fact that because he's the richest guy in the world, he knows everybody, already knows things about everybody, and if he doesn't know them and doesn't know information about them, He can easily put his hands on it, and that kind of help is invaluable to a police officer investigating a murder. Now, in Faithless in Death, Eve is called upon to investigate the death of a young female sculptor. And as she gets deeper and deeper into learning about this young woman and her family and her relationships, Eve learns about a very weird cult that is filled with influential people who believe that women should stay home and have babies and follow every command of their husbands. And the cult, and I call it a cult because it was a cult, the cult leader is charismatic, as I guess all cult leaders are. He's charismatic and has a huge international following, and he is willing to go to extreme lengths to move his cause forward. And Eve has to investigate him and learn more about the cult until she's finally able to piece together what happened in this story. And you gotta read it. It's great. They're all great. And this one is probably one of my most favorites because at least when I read Faithless in Death, it really brings back into my mind all of the political events that have been going on relating to the 2020 election cycle, and what happens when charismatic leaders get too much power. And so read this. I highly recommend it. You'll love it. And if you want to read my full review, which is going to give you a lot more of an in-depth understanding of the story itself, go to highlyrecommendedbooks.com and you can see my full review there. Also look on my Instagram, Highly Recommended Books. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope you get a chance to read tonight. Bye.